Welcome to Colored Goose Diaries.
Hallo julle.
Ek weet ons lyk 'n bietjie different van ons usual. Die setting is nog altyd dieselfde. Ons is per minute op huis julle because ons altyd besig om of kos te maak vir ander mense of vir onsself is. Because
Exactly. It's the heart of the home, so why not?
exactly. And yeah, so we are just here because we want to wish everyone, all the mommies out there, and the daddies. Remember, there are daddies that are also playing a mother role. So,
Yeah.
to all of you, we want to wish you a happy and a blessed Mother's Day. And yeah, this is so important tyd vir ons ook, because we are also mommies. And yeah, so I hope that you have an amazing day with your family and friends, mostly with your kids. And if it's not biological, remember these the children that are born from your womb and the others that are born from your heart, and they still equally your children. So there's no difference in that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
happy Mother's Day from me, and
Van my julle ook Happy Mother's Day. Scots Mother's Day is in the UK actually is Mother's Day in Maart. In die weekend wat Mother's Day was, het my man mos sy gewig hier sag op staan en breekie buite. So ek gaan beslis hierdie jaar Suid-Afrikaanse Moedersdag saam met al die Suid-Afrikaners en die res van die wêreld. Ek weet nie hoekom ons in Maart is nie, maar die res van die wêreld het Moedersdag in Mei. So ek gaan Moedersdag saam met die res van die wêreld celebrate hierdie jaar. Um ek gaan dit celebrate. Ek eers gedink miskien moet ek nie, maar ek gaan dit celebrate because ek voel dit gaan my eerste Moedersdag wees sonder my ma. Want gewoonlik alhoewel ek Moedersdag in Maart dan nou celebrate hierso in hierdie land, het ek altyd vir mamma gebel en dan Moedersdag in Suid-Afrika het ek haar ook weer gebel. So hierdie jaar gaan my eerste keer wees waar ek nou op officially South African Mother's Day nie met my ma kan praat nie, nie vir kan sê Happy Mother's Day nie. So dit gaan ek is seker dit gaan 'n emosionele een wees, maar nog steeds gaan ek dit vier want ek is ook 'n ma en ek dink ons almal verdien nie dat een I suppose as a mother you do everything we can all the time and we do get this day where we can just be recognized and appreciated and I know we are appreciated and recognized every day in our families but that one day it's just so absolutely so special. So a happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys have the most beautiful, blessed day. And like Chantal say, with your children, whether they're born from your womb or from your heart, I just hope that it's absolutely amazing and that you enjoy every single moment with your families.
yeah, I just want to say that I was raised by ek bly sê ek is 'n ouma se kind, but I was raised by remarkable, strong women. All of my
Mm.
heroes, the people that I look up, the ones that I aspire the most to be like, all women or are women. And my oma is ook nie meer hier nie, but you know what? I am at peace with her not being here anymore because she lived a long and she lived a good life, you guys. I have some videos on my TikTok of my granny. My oma was vir jou die snaakste mens. And yeah, I don't ever think that there was ever not ever there was never a dull moment around my granny. Everybody that knows her, and if you're watching now and you knew my granny, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That knew
Yeah.
her knew how amazing she was. My granny, I remember when she was telling me, sy het gaan werk in service toe sy al 9 jaar, 10 jaar oud mense. Toe gaan
Mm.
bly sy by die baas, so sy vir my gesê by the master. In service het sy begin te werk. So my granny also had a difficult upbringing and she had to
Mm.
become a woman very early in life, had to grow up very early. And
Mhm.
and then after that, she lived with those people and she helped raise their kids with them. She was 21 when she left there and then married my grandfather, and that was the only man she knew, the only man that she married and lived with and had kids with. They had 9 children, one passed away, but they had 8 children together. And then my grandfather died when he was 55. So sy was 'n weduwee ook vroegtydig. But even with all of that. And then she had her children and she had her grandchildren because ek was al gebore toe my ouma oupa dood. Ek was 8 of iets soos dat my oupa dood is. But my ouma het sy het ons almal groot gemaak and she never complained.
Yeah.
Not one time do I remember growing up and my granny would say, ek eet die, daar is die broodie. Daar was net altyd hoe gekyk. Sy het hoe gekyk vir alles en my ouma het gewerk vir mense. Tot sy 70 oud was aanbetig, het sy gaan huis skoonmaak en agter ou mense kyk en sy was haarself oud. En vandag sit en dink ek en ek dink Mommy het nooit complain nie, and yet here we are about the simplest things and then we complain.
Yes, and our lives are so much more privileged.
Definitely.
So much more privileged than what these were, and my ma was 'n boba storie verteller. Listen, almal sal vir jou vertel wat 'n grap sy was. Die jokes en die stories wat sy vertel het en hoe sy dit vertel het, nee. And like you, like what you said about your granny, I think my mom was also a very, very strong woman. From a very young age, she had to leave school, primary school. Ek dink sy het standaard 2, where she had to leave school to go and work in service as well. And my mom used to tell me that there was this place in Knysna, right, where they lived. I don't know if you've seen the movie Feel as a Kind, right?
Yes, but of course. Yeah.
Now, ons het eers daar waar Villa gebly het in die bos het my ouers het daar gebly. En toe het hulle verhuis van daar af na die plekkie Diepwalle, nee. Diepwalle is letterlik, Chantal, ek hoop in die middel van die Knysna bos. En my ma het altyd vertel hoe hulle moes stap skool toe, nee, hulle moes stap skool toe, vir nie skool toe nie, ekskuus werk toe. Hulle moes stap werk toe, nee. En in die oggend was dit so vroeg. Hulle sê dat hulle die skoene gehad het, dan moet hulle letterlik plastiek sakke om hulle voete draai, nee, en hulle voete in die olifantmis gaan druk, nee, sodat nommer 1 dat hulle voete warm maak, maar nommer 2 wanneer hulle stap, die olifante nie noodwendig vir hulle sal kan rykie. En so hulle moes nog in die oggend, jy's so klein, maar jy moet dank aan olifante wat kan hier loop, so ek dink, when I think about the life that my parents had, spel my ma, nee, the life she had, and the life I have today, I think we are so blessed and so privileged, and we are very, very privileged to be able to look back and have women in our lives who were strong, phenomenal, and women who we can look up to. I think we're very, very blessed in that respect.
Yeah, they definitely set the bar. I remember my granny, she visited me often when I was living in Angola. Sy wil net plein sy's nog eens reg weg terug huis toe nie, afra sy, van ek sy weer terug. Nou sê ek, mami, lyk dit daarmee? Sy sê, nee, is dit vir hy plein ride? But, kyk een keer dat ek julle vertel, my ouma is nou die eerste keer wat sy nou terugkom Suid-Afrika, die eerste keer wat sy vlieg Angola toe en ons nou terug by haarself is. En ek sê vir haar, mami, my ouma vlieg toe tyd in Namibië, né? Ek sê, mami, as my ek sê, mami, by Namibië kom, en ek het hy airport gechoose because is klein, vir die ding. Is tyd toe het hulle nog nie strijdvlieg gehad in Kaap toe nie, Suid-Afrika toe nie. Toe het hulle net die, ek dink dat jy kan nie verloor laat eet, in Namibië se airport is so klein, en die gates is net langs mekaar. Daar was ek net 2 of 3 gates, so jy kan dit nie mis nie. Okay, ek sê, mami, as mami daar kom, mami gaat 'n ander vlieg vat. Maar mami moet wag so by 3 ure voor die next flight. So mami kyk net op die dinges of vra vir die flight attendant of 'n mami te wys waar is die ander gate. Van mami gaat vroeg daar, wie sê gaan sit mami sommer daar by die gate, né?
Yeah.
En dan van hulle moet nou sê, okay, next flight, dan gaan mami moet sê, my ouma's nee, ek is so reg, kyk die niggies. Kyk, en sy was my ouma het altyd mooi hoed aangehet. Die hakkie was always on point en pantyhose met en alles het gematch, né?
Yes.
En as julle sien, ek het 'n Spencer aan vandag, julle. Dit was my ouma se Spencer. Anyway, en so ja, my ouma so daar weg. Hierdie kyk ek is by die airport, ek explain weer vir haar en ek sê toe vir die meisie wat vir ons incheck, ek sê as sy nou deur gaan, kan sy asseblief net vir sy sê nee man, die airport is so klein. Ek sê ja, ek weet maar my ouma sy is mos nou oud, sy sê tywer ek die ou team. My ouma die Jola saam met die man, maar die ding is kyk ja, sy maak vir 'n oor as sy gaan. Nig is toe hierdie weg. Okay, nou ek is 'n bietjie ge-worried en tyd het sy nie 'n selfoon gehad nie. Ek dink jene. Nou ek check die dinge vir die flights moes nou van dinge van Angola van Windhoek toe. Ek sê okay, mami is nou in Windhoek. Nou 3 ure na is mami se flight moes nou van Windhoek af. Okay. Hierdie aand my auntie bel. Sy sê mami se flight het geland, maar mami is so op die flight nie. Ek sê nee man, julle ding is as koelo mense op die dinge. So almal moet nou afkom en soms is daar nog ekstra flights weg maar neem dit daar. Sy sê nie al die mense sal afval. Ek sê is daar niks meer mense op die airport nie. Sy sê nie, daar's nog 'n flight. Ek sê wat mense wat nou afkom. Ek sê okay nou weg net daar. Jene my nerves is klaar. Ek dink het my ouma nou my ding nie man. My ouma is sy street smart man. Diana, sy street smart. Sy kan nie verloor geraak het nie. Merel agterna, hulle gaan vra totaal. Hulle sê nie everyone van Windhoek se van Namibië is af van die ding is die flight attendants is al af. Hulle het al skoon gemaak en die plane is al weg met 'n nog 'n lot mense. Merel, kyk jy my nou, dis klaar tyd. Ek dink sommer aan trafficking. Hulle het nou vir my ouma getraffic. Wat hulle gaan nou vir body parts, my nerves is klaar. Ek is besig al om te kyk watter flights is daar vir die next dag om te gaan Namibië toe. Ek bel toe. Ek die phone lei aan niemand antwoord die heerlik en ek ken niemand daar nie. Eventually kom ek te die en die een lady antwoord. Ek het nooit haar naam gekry nie en as sy miskien by enige chance die video sien. Listen, she answers, lady answers the phone and she said she's the last. Sy sê vir my luister die laaste flight van Namibië is wat nou hier vandaan gaan is al weggehaal. En ek sê toe van my ouma was op die airport, ek explain van waar my ouma gekom het en bla bla bla. Sy sê ja, daar is 'n auntie wat nog hier sit. Maar die auntie gesels aan met die cleaner van sy gekom het al. Ek gaan gou die auntie roep. Ja. Merel, my ouma kom, ek hoor net my ouma sê ek vir wie is dit? Hoe is aan die phone? Sy sê nee, is se dogter. My ouma sê ek, "Hi." Ek sê, "Mami." Mami, ek sê, mami, het mami se flight gemis. Sy sê, hoe moet jy gemis? Het nog niks flights gekom nie. Ek sê, mami, wat? Ek sê, mami, nou gesien, daar's niks meer mense op die airport nie. Almal is al weg nie. Sy sê, ja, ek het genotice, but ek weet nie hoe ek gemaak het. Ek het by die een deur gesit, en toe gaan ek terug sit ek by 'n ander deur. Toe dink ek, die mense gaan miskien nou net somewhere, wat ek nou moet visie. Ek sê mami nie gehoor, hulle roep South African last call to Cape Town. Hulle het mami se naam opgeroep, want die vrou sê hulle het haar naam geroep, alles. Sy sê nee, ek sê, hoe kan mami nie gehoor? Anyway, nou kyk ek, in Namibië se airport, daar was die laaste vlieg, hulle maak toe die airport, daar is niks meer flights wat inkom nie. So daar is 'n hotel wat sy kan slaap, sy kan nie op die airport slaap nie, die vrou is so nice, die vrou sê vir my, luister hier, ek het ook my ma is about jou ouma se ouderdom. Ek gaan jou ouma saam met my huis toe vat. En môreoggend gaan ek vir haar op die eerste flight Kaap toe gaan ek vir haar op daai flight sit. Nou sê ek vir my ouma is en ek so, ja, hy sal baie nice is. Ek sê, mami, ken jy die vrou nie? Wat is die vrou? Kyk, nou tyd het ek mos vir haar dollars gegee. Nou sê my ouma, dis my ouma en ek hier op die phone. Sy sê, nie die vrou sê, ek sê, ja, ek hoor, mami. Sy sê, en ek het, saggies, nou, maar ek het my dollars weggesteek hier onder my skoen. Sy sê, sy kan nie met my hoor nie. Ek sê, mami, ek sê, mami, ons ken nie die vrou nie, hoe lyk die vrou? En daar sê van video call uit, ek kan nie die vrou se gesig sien nie, die phone sê tegen video call nie. Ek, as nog hy 1, 2, 3 nog, yes. Daar was nie, FaceTime, hoe lyk die vrou, sê 'n foto van die vrou, ek weet nie wat gaan aan nie. Die vrou sê vir my, luister, jy het nou nie 'n keuse nie, my skat. Jy sal maar nou moet vertrou, trust and believe dat ek gaan jou ouma môreoggend terugbring en dat sy gaan safe wees vanaand en ek gaan vir huis toe vat saam met my. Ek bly net te ver hier van die airport af en dan gaan ek haar môreoggend terugbring en ek gaan vir op die flight sit. Kyk, ek het nog nooit gebid soos ek daai aangebid het. Ek was heel nag wakker. En anyway, lang storie kort, ek het nou 'n lang storie vertel. Daai vrou het toe my ouma gehelp. Julle sy het my ouma op die next flight gesit die next dag. Kyk julle niggie Koran in die Kaap. Niggie het had the most amazing time en sy sê as sy nog sy het gewens dat hulle het gesê haar flight is nog gedelayed want dit was so amazing aan Namibië. Namibië se mense, hè? Ek sê mami, wat mense geweet daar was net een ouma. Sy sê nee. Sy het haar vriende ook gedinge se is dit tyd van die aand. Sy sê ja, almal het geweet daar's 'n Kaapenaar wat verlore is. Ek het hulle jokes vertel, hulle het vir my scones gemaak. Hier daai mense het vir haar lyf 'n lekker tyd gegee daai aand. Sy sê ek sal enige tyd verlore raak in Namibië. Ek sê maar mami, ek het geslaap. Ek gedink, kyk in die nag, ek het haar gesien al. Kyk jy weet as jy if your mind is dinge is, nou. Ek het gedink so hang my ouma al. Hulle is alle ek het gehuil, ek het geplee. Ek het nog nooit so gelê voor die Here soos ek hy aangelê het. En gesê Stien het my ma terug sy huis toe en daar's my ouma en haar lyf, haar lyf het sy lekker tyd gegee. En sy's nog huis toe met gifts. Huis toe met gifts en alles. But net and just to come back to, that was just the person that my granny was. Everywhere she went, she made friends. Everywhere she went, she made an impact, you know. She made everyone's life better. You never left there feeling, you know how you sometimes you're around people or just friends that and they leave and you just feel so drained. You never left feeling drained from my granny.
Yeah.
Just being in her company and just being in her presence. And yeah, she was the embodiment of resilience, the best person I've ever known, the biggest heart, the funniest, and all right, just my hero. The one person that I aspire to be the most like, and the one person that if you know if I had to say I would want I have a hero, it would be my granny, but also someone that I want to make the proudest. I know I want my children to be proud of me and my husband. But my granny, letterlik, my ouma is my ouma wat ek klaar met skool is. Is my ouma en my skoolmeneere. Ons gaan nog weer daar kom. But vandag is dit meer om moeders en daai en ja, my ouma was vir my
influential, very influential. You know what? No, I don't want to get emotional. But hoe jy van jou ouma praat and some of the things you say really is, to me, it's like that with my mom, you know? And sorry, met my ma's funeral net almal gesê like, oh, haar deur was altyd oop vir almal. Almal was altyd welkom, no matter where you came from, no matter who you were. You know, was altyd oop vir almal en almal was altyd welkom. You know, almal was altyd daar. Sy was altyd daar vir almal gewees, you know, en soos jy van jou ouma praat, so voel ek wel my ma. Hulle het altyd 'n grappie gehad vir almal. Almal was altyd welkom en goed by die kerk, soos mamma het so my koeiblommetjie, né, het mamma gesacrifice vir die kerk. Fondse in te samel vir die kerk. Obviously, daai het ek nie so daaraan gedink, want blommetjie was my beste vriendin, my pet. Dis hoe ek maar blommetjie se hele purpose was gekoop om vir die kerkgeld in te samel, you know. En nou my pa se dood het dit my ma baie geaffekteer, want haar soulmate was weg en my pa was so jonk, my pa sterf, my pa was 52, you know. But yeah, ek dink ons is baie blessed en baie privileged om te kan sê ons het daar's vroue in ons lewens wat so 'n groot impak gemaak het op ons lewens en hulle voetspore lê baie diep in ons harte en dat ons hulle kan emulate, ons sien die sacrifices wat hulle gemaak het vandag nie. En ek dink in ons gemeenskappe en veral in Suid-Afrika net as daar baie mense wat kan terugkyk en sê jene ek het ook so 'n vrou in my lewe gehad whether dit 'n ouma of 'n ma of 'n auntie was daar was altyd ek dink baie van ons sal kan sê of selfs as dit net 'n onderwyseres was dat daar iemand in ons lewe is te wie ons kan opkyk en
Yeah, without a doubt. When you just said now about onderwysers, like I said, we have a lot to talk about, guys, in future episodes. I'm also going to tell you about how my teachers literally saved my life. But I'm a little my life gesave. So, so aside from my granny, when I said I was raised by amazing, like by strong women, I've most all my role models are women, and my best friend Avril, her mom Nora, I just want to pay tribute to her. She was such a phenomenal, an amazing, and inspirational person as well, and she played a big part in my life when I was growing up, especially those teenage years, you know. And but I think aside from my granny, the other person that is no longer here that has had the biggest impact in my life was she was more like my sister, but she was my aunt because sy is my ma se suster. Maar ek het mos nog groot geword met my ouma, so hulle was mos nog maar meer soos my siblings gewees. So en ek en sy was 10 jaar uitmekaar. So sy was my babysitter toe ek klein was en letterlik my eerste vriendin en ons het saam groot geword en ek het I went through life, and when I decided that I was going to come back home to South Africa, she was the only person that knew. Everything that I've done in my life and every milestone that I've been through, or everything that I've been through and every milestone that I've reached, she's always been there. When I wrote my matric exams, I remember, and that's another story for another day. Dit was ook maar baie difficult tyd vir my gewees. Ek gaan weer vir julle vertel van daai. But yeah, niemand gedink ek gaan dit maak nie. Selfs ek het gedink ek gaan dit maak nie because I wasn't supposed to. But I did and I passed. And onthou julle destyds toe kom ons name mos in die koerant, né? En ja, ek het niemand het die koerant gaan koop. Sy het gaan kyk en sy het my gebel en gesê, nou sy het uitgekyk vir my man, verseker gemaak dat en toe bel sy my en sy sê, jou naam is in die koerant. She just was the, like, sy was baie important. Sy is baie important. En so, sy is verlede jaar in November, just suddenly she passed away. She didn't have long-term illnesses and she just had a lot to live for and she was just still so young. And so I want to encourage you guys that life's too short to, yeah, to live with regrets and to live with, ek gaan dit môre doen.
yes.
Don't put off things that don't have to be put off, Go, like Meryl was saying in the previous episode, where she said after she went to the disco, she took herself out for lunch. And yeah, it's easy for us to say because people always say, ja, maar jy het geld om te gaan. There's other things you can do. Go to the library, go get the book, go to the park. Take time for yourself.
Absolutely.
Feed your soul. Feed yourself. As a mother, we cannot pour from empty cup. And I'm telling you all of this because I learned all of this from my Rita. She was, soos ek sê, my oma was, every woman played such a big role in my life. They left me with the most amazing gems, life lessons. And from her, I learned that in everything that you do, don't forget about yourself. Because in the end of the day, wanneer ons gaan, dan, ja, onze kinders gaan ons onthou, en now and again gaat hulle 'n bloemetje op, but as time goes on, people's lives go on, and we can't blame them. But what did you do for you? Life is a gift. It's your gift. It's not my kid's gift to love. It's not my husband's. It's mine. There are many that didn't make it to where they could live, a full life, and we are still here. Whether it doesn't, and I understand that there are storms and there are, yeah, ons almal gaan deur baie dinge. But you guys, if you are still here, that means that you still have a purpose and you still have a reason.
You still
And,
have a story to
and you
tell.
still have a story to tell. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I made a promise to Rita. When I came back, we were, that last weekend she was with me and she was fine. En we went to Woolies toe gaan haal ons nou koffie en ons loop mos nou met die koffie en sy sê vir my, "Jy likes dinner." Ek sê, "Girl, I'm back, get used to it. This is the life you're gonna." I made so many plans with her that after she died, I couldn't find myself again because everything that I planned for my life, I had included her, and I didn't know how to get back. And that's when Vera was telling you guys that we have been wanting to do this podcast for so long, but then every time life happens, and that was just another thing that because I couldn't get back on track. Ek sit maar hier en lag op TikTok en nou, but most days I'm not. But it's okay not to be okay. I think that's the
Yeah,
biggest thing.
absolutely. And you know what you were saying about like, yes, our kids will remember us and stuff, but we need to do stuff for ourselves. It's like I feel because Rita died not long after my mom did, right?
Yeah.
And in the short time that I knew Rita and we had long phone calls and
Yes.
lots of laughs, she really made a big impact on me as well, just with the type of person that she was. And she was always so positive, you know. And yeah, I think it changed my outlook on life. I now feel when I look at life, I think of our time is running out. Our time really is running out. God knew the day we were going to be born, and He knows the day we're going to die. We don't know that, right? And so for me, my whole outlook on life has changed. When I think about you, I'm going to send you a message and say, "Hello, I'm thinking about you," right? Because I don't want to say, "Okay, oh, I'll do it tomorrow," because tomorrow might not even come. And I know I sound like an absolute cliche saying that, but I feel like it's so important that now I want everybody to know how I feel. I love you. And I'm going to say I love you. And, you know, I really think of life that our time is running out. So what am I doing for myself? Because I want to know that on the day that I'm gone, I want to know that I've lived my best life and I've done everything that I possibly could. And I'm not saying it's going to be a life without challenges and stuff, but just doing little things. And it's not about spending money. It's about finding time to read that book. It's about finding time to do something for me, even if it's just going outside and spending time by myself, doing a bit of gardening. That's me time. I want to know. And I think a lot of the times when people think we have to love our life to the fullest, it's all these big grand gestures. It's not about that. It's about saying to your friend, listen, I love you, or I appreciate you. It's those little things, and showing kindness for me. So honestly, my whole outlook has changed. If I was to go today, I said what I needed to say, and people know how I feel about them, you know, and that's it. That is so important to me. And like you say, we need to find something. We need to make sure that we are doing things for ourselves and doing the best that we can. And in every situation, I feel like there's something to learn. Find the positive. Find the positive, because the more you find the positive, even in the bad things that happen, if you find the positive in it, you focus on that. And that is what leads to you to happiness and being happy, And for the first time, I have looked back on my life and I'm like, I can see God's handiwork. And I actually I can say I feel genuinely happy. I am sad. I have my moments where I really miss my mom and I really wish I had her. But again, that's life, right? Life happens. And it's like sometimes you feel like after a funeral, people move on and people forget that, they move on. But you were going through that. You don't forget. You still feel that. You still feel that pain. Um, but yeah, I think, like you say, and I know I sound like a cliche, life for living, and we need to just make the best of it.
That, and especially in our community, in our colored community, that ons is so ge-worried van wat die next persoon dink en wat die next persoon gaan sê en hoe die next
Yes.
persoon. You know, alles wat ons doen is depend van wat die neighbor gaan sê. Kersfees
Yeah.
oor nee, my kinders moet ook daar net because why? Almal is nou in almal die kinders dra nou die Nike met haar. So hulle sit vir hulle diep in die skuld om, you know, om in te pas is al for the most part vir is altyd colored mense is altyd 'n storie van we're always trying to fit in. And I think for myself,
Yeah.
that was me growing up, like just me as a person. I spent my whole life trying to fit in, my whole life trying to be seen, my whole life trying to be heard. And with Rita's death, I've just realized that as they say that there are friends that come into your life for a reason and friends for a season. I think that even family are there for reasons and seasons. And
Absolutely.
and you know that saying, you know, we live our lives based on sayings that you can choose your friends but you can't choose your family. You know, it's not true. You know, yes, you can't choose who your family is, but you can choose who
The
to
relationship.
the relationship that you want to have. If it's not good for you, and if it's not helping you grow, and if it's not um what's the word, middle?
If it's not conducive to a positive
Beneficial.
lifestyle.
Yeah, if it's not beneficial for both parties, then you don't have to have that relationship. You can love people from a distance. You can love, and that has been what I've been doing. Is like I have just said enough is enough, and um,
Mhm.
yeah, for my
I've
own
done
peace
the
of
same.
mind, and I'm so happy.
Mhm.
And I don't have no ill feelings. Daar's niks. Ek is nie kwaad nie. Ek het niks anger nie. Ek is net okay.
Yes.
Ek,
If it's not conducive to a positive lifestyle, why have that in your life? You know, toxicity and being in toxic relationships, regardless of who it's with, it really weighs you down, it brings you down, and it then starts affecting your mood, and then it rolls over to the people closest to you, and then they suffer. So me putting myself first and thinking about myself also means that any relationship that is not positive, and like you say, that's not mutually beneficial, really that has no space in my life. There's no space for that because I don't want to constantly be being brought down and then being affected by other people's stuff. I don't want any of that, and so for me the best thing to do is to, by putting myself first, is also to cut out those type of relationships. Ons het nou 'n bietjie baie stories te tel.
yeah, you guys, ek het 'n klomp stories van my ouma wat ek wil this was supposed to be 15 minutes just to wish you a happy Mother's Day, but julle weet mos nou, colored goose. Julle weet hoe colored kan nie, hulle kan nie 'n storie net, daar's altyd 'n spring in die ronde. But I want to wish once again happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you, and I hope you have an amazing day with your friends and your family and your kiddos and your fur babies, whoever. Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Have the most beautiful day. And remember, you guys can email us on coloredgoosediaries@gmail.com. So if there's any topics or anything you'd like us to discuss, any questions you want to ask, please feel free to drop us an email, or you can DM us on TikTok as well. But have a beautiful, blessed Mother's Day.